Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Cancer energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people harness high vibe Cancer energy. They have hope and faith and belief in love, and they're making decisions from a balanced place, having hope and faith and belief in their dreams. And some people in their Cancer energy are more aligned with their worldly nature, so they could love the things of the world more that they're more focused on, maybe job or career. And then some people harness a more shadowy Cancer energy and they more love themselves, and it's about them, and maybe then they use their emotions manipulatively to get people to do what they want in a relationship. This might be quite poignant for people who are a Cancer sun sign or have a lot of Cancer in their chart, but we all tap into Cancer energy. How do we harness our Cancer energy? Do we, which one are we aligned with? People we're in a relationship with, which one are they aligned with? And we just need to listen to our intuition about where we're at in the story, emotionally, how we're handling things, and is love motivating our life, or love of money or greed or ourself, and what are other people motivated and inspired by emotionally. And it's just to see the truth, because the truth sets us free. So we'll turn down the camera while I'm getting the cards out. We all have our dualistic nature. We all have our more, we live in a world of duality. We have free wills, so we kind of have the knowledge of the tree and good and evil within us, and the seeds of both. Which one are we going to emotionally invest in? Our more worldly nature can be our more self-centered or immature nature, or have we learned to love ourselves, offer ourselves love and compassion, forgiveness for the mistakes we've made, to offer love to our own shadow nature, so our shadow nature is in the driver's seat of our life. So the overarching reason for the reading is the thinking man. The way I read tarot is, this would be similar to the King of Swords. What is our truth? What do we think is just and fair? Because the King of Swords is Libra energy. We all have to decide what we think is just and fair. We get in all these different relationships and go through all these different life experiences to help us get clear about our truth. Whatever is our truth and whatever we think is just and fair, the kings in tarot can talk about people taking action. When we take action in the world, it is considered masculine energy. But we can present ourselves any way we want. We can present ourselves as harnessing high vibe Libra energy, high vibe Cancer energy, that we're a just and fair and loving and balanced person. I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I'm not egotistical. I'm not immature and bossy and controlling. But the feminine figures tell us the truth of how people really think and feel. So we have people in the world presenting, some people are balanced within themselves. They have learned to offer love and encouragement and compassion and forgiveness to their shadow nature, so that their more just and balanced loving nature is in the driver's seat of their life. Other people try to present themselves as being that type of person, but emotionally, their shadow nature could be running their life. Their fear, their insecurity, their defensive nature, their worldly nature, their egoic nature. And everybody's going to take action, and is maybe taking action right now based on what their truth is. And we could have some people in our life that aren't taking action towards us, aren't communicating their truth to us, aren't working together with us because they could have a different truth. The truth is sometimes, not everybody we want to be friends with, be in a relationship with, want to work for, wants to be in a relationship with us like that. And we just have to accept the truth of it. Sometimes those people are living their life the way they should be living their life too. They're getting in relationships with the people that they have that certain type of click with, what makes us want to gravitate towards certain people than other people, why do we want to date someone? Why would we want to marry, what is it, that certain connection? So we have to accept the truth of that some people aren't in relationship with us because they are in relationship with the people that they should be with. We have to accept the truth of that. But there's other people who maybe aren't in a relationship with us because they know, we might not know, but they know their truth isn't the same as ours. And they know they're motivated and inspired by different things than we are. So let's go see what's going on in Cancer energy. We have victory and happy family. And the reason it came out is because of the woman holding heart. Now, to me, this looks like a man. So the way I interpret this card, high vibe people really maybe are who they say they are who they say they are. They're a blend. They're masculine energy and their feminine energy. Who they present themselves to be in the world is who they really are. They are balanced between their masculine and feminine energy. We all have our more worldly egoic nature, which is could be considered more of our masculine energy and how we take action in the world. And then we all have our more emotionally intuitive, creative nature. I think the high vibe people are who they say they are. They are speaking the truth. They are balanced within themselves. They have had victory kind of over their the Ten of Cups it's Pisces energy, and in shadow, emotionally we can get caught up in illusion, right? And we kind of live in fantasy land because we have these lessons to learn in life. We've all done that. We've all went off in our life trying to figure out what our truth is, what makes us happy. And for a long time, we could have, because we're human beings and we live in the world, we can tend to operate a little bit more from our egoic nature. It's our ego nature that has a lot of lessons to learn. It's our immature, prideful, egotistical, I want what I want nature. Aren't these things going to make us happy? And so for a long time in our life, we can kind of, our egos a little bit more, living a little bit more, maybe our mind from our heart, because we have these lessons to learn in life. And we go pursue these things in life that we think will make us happy. And then we have the fourth chakra, which is about the heart, the deceit, the walking away, healer of the ages, and the community card. You know, we as human beings, we have all these things we want that we think we love and things we do love. And we have all these lessons to learn. That's like the deceit card there, you know? It's kind of like, you're not ready for your divine inheritance yet of the healer of the ages and the community card because you have these lessons to learn. You have to grow up. You have to quit being naive and gullible. And you have to learn how to maintain balance within yourself. We do have all these different aspects of ourself, you know, in tarot. This is an oracle deck, but I'm reading it like a tarot deck. We have our heart, we have our mind, we have our worldly nature, things we need to pay attention to in our 3D world. Then we have our passionate, creative nature. And as we go off in life, learning these lessons, at different times we're learning different lessons. Sometimes our heart is running our life. That's our truth. Oh my gosh, I love them. And the rest of the other three aspects of our life go in the toilet. And then we might maybe be a little more self-protective of our heart, and we might be kind of defensive to people, and we could feel betrayed, all these things. So then we're letting our mind and our self-protective nature run our life, and then kind of some other aspects within our life could kind of go in the toilet, because the whole thing is we have all four elements of ourself like to deal with. And until we go off on these journeys in life to learn these lessons, and oh, my passionate creative nature, I want to go indulge in those things, I'm sure that will make me happy. We go learn all these lessons in life, and you know, when we have lessons to learn in the deceit card, that's kind of like the devil coming into our life. Oh, have you not learned to love yourself? Are you not respecting all aspects of yourself, that they're all valuable and important? You thought you could just ignore some? You got some lessons to learn here. Let's have you meet this person, because this person is going to come into your life to try to make you see the truth, that all aspects of yourself are important. And it's true No decision we make is wasted. That's why there's a key on each mirror. We're going to learn lessons, but we have to be willing to learn the lessons. And for the people who did learn the lessons, it's like they're ready to move forward now in life differently. It's like, I am ready. I have learned how to maintain balance within myself. I have learned that love is about balance and justice and fairness. When I indulge poor behavior in myself, operating a little more from my ego, making it more about me, kind of thinking maybe I didn't have to learn these lessons in life, it's probably not going to turn out the way I wanted. Because I had lessons to learn. Was I enabling poor behavior in other people, not requiring them to treat me in a just and fair and truthful and authentic and loving way? It's kind of like every relationship has to be balanced, but some are equally out of balance. A loving person can indulge people in their poor behavior and hoping one day they'll change their philosophy of life and then they'll have an equal give and take relationship. And some of those people love being in relationships with people like that. The victory card is kind of like the Six of Wands card, which can be someone operating from ego. Then you can have someone who's loving. And the person who's more maybe about ego, they have some lessons to learn. The loving person has some lessons to learn. The more of someone who's more about ego or themselves might kind of be wearing a false mask, but we don't want to see the truth of it, because if we saw the truth of it, then we'd have to walk away, and we don't want to see the truth of it, because then I'm going to have to do this work within myself to love myself and believe in myself and heal myself. And so we can stay in equally imbalanced relationships for a long time, because we keep hoping they'll work out, but we need to see the truth. If someone else isn't kind of using their gifts that they were given that make them more than just a rock, we are in the animal kingdom, we're of the world, just like a crystal is of the world. And to me, that looks like a crystal that they're holding, which is a rock, but if you hold it up to the light, and in tarot, synonymously, the light, represented by high vibe Leo energy, when we get out of our more worldly egoic nature and get balance between our worldly nature and our more hopeful, believing, creative, inspired, intuitive nature, and we're using the things that we were given kind of authentically, and we were given our emotional nature, our intellect, our creativity, our imagination, our sexuality, our intuition, if we use all those things for good versus kind of like abusing our own inner child nature and the gifts that we've been given, if we're not using them and haven't used how to work with them in a cooperative way and in a just and fair and balanced way, things aren't probably going to work out the way we want. We learn these lessons and we realize that we do have, these gifts that we've been given that make us more than an animal and more than a computer are precious gemstones that we've been given to work with. And just like some people use their intellect and their skills and talent in the world to be scammers in the world, people are like that in relationships. They use their emotions manipulatively. They use their charm and their sexuality and their intuition in a shadowy way to try to manipulate other people. And some of you have been in some of those kind of mismatched relationships where you thought some of these people were going to move forward with you in a long-term, loving, balanced relationship. And maybe they're not. And the part of it is because we do have free will. We have to make this free will choice. What is my truth? Do I like aligning, living more from my mind than my heart? Maybe being manipulative and deceitful in relationships to try to get what I want? Is that how I view life? Is it more about me? I love me more than working cooperatively with people in a relationship where I should treat other people the way I like to be treated? Some people got some growing up to do, and they're really kind of more about themselves, and they might think the scales of justice should be tipped in their favor in a relationship. If they're immature, if they're bossy, if they're egotistical, if they just like to be indulged, don't want to have to grow up, don't want to have to walk away from any of some poor past patterns of ways of viewing life or living life, they don't want to make the free will choice to be in a... That takes work. If you're going to get in a relationship and treat other people the way you like to be treated in the Healer of the Ages and the Community card, in justice and truth, it's no longer more about you than other people. You're working together for a common goal, and everybody puts aside their pride and ego to work together cooperatively for the bigger goal, willing to compromise, willing to work together cooperatively. Life's a negotiation. And some people are like, so that means it can be more about me a little bit. It can't be more about my wants or my needs or my lust or my greed or, because there's some people who do kind of indulge themselves and they don't temper their egoic nature. Well, but I want to be able to do this and act like this and blah, 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 whenever I want. And it's like, life's all about learning lessons. And sometimes, there's all this distance between, like, far side over here is like Jesus and Mother Teresa, and over here, shadow nature represented by the devil, really atrocious people, narcissists. And then, all these lessons, and we're all very egotistical and self-centered when we're young. Hopefully we've learned lessons in life, not just how to manipulate people to make them think that we're a just and fair and loving and giving, nurturing person, but because we free willingly have aligned with that truth, that if I want these things with other people and they're like that, I should be that type of person. But there is some people where it is all strategy. Kind of makes me think of a narcissist, and I do think of the King of Swords. In people, it's kind of like their really self-protective nature, or maybe some of them are really bright and smart and they think, so I can be in relationships and act like a loving person, have all the perks of like a loving relationship, but I don't have to take a risk of actually being authentically hurt because I'm just creating an illusion. I'm just manipulating people into thinking I'm authentically in this relationship, but it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz behind the screen. No. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Moving all the levers, making all the calculations. Should I smile now? Should I hug them now? Should I say this now? And it's all like this mental strategy of how to protect themselves without their more authentic nature. I don't have to let my authentic nature out to play in the world. I have been inspired to think that I'll be happy letting my false persona run my life. That way, and so it's like people who live a fake life. They're more creative, inspired, intuitive, authentic nature never comes out to play in the world. They've so aligned with living more from their mind than their heart. It's all to put on a show. And we growing up in the world, we don't want people to reject us. So, when we're going to junior high and high school and we get out of school and then we're living in the world, life is this thing about becoming. And we've all kind of had to temper ourselves, and we all might have to fit in with the world a little bit. We might have our, that only our close friends and families knows some of our more unique aspects of our personality. and what we might say and how we might act, and that is part of the world. Libra energy also is kind of like our people pleaser aspect and our public politician persona. We want to get along in the world and in work, we have to get along with as many people as we can so that we can all work cooperatively together, like in a workplace, and things keep moving forward. And we might have our own opinions that differ from other people. We temper maybe our more quirky, weird kind of ways of being, except around close friends and family, because it's just not needed out there in the world and would maybe get people off focus, But so some people, there's a time and a place for, they're more conforming to the world ways of being. But then when they are more around just friends and family and hanging out, they're more authentically themselves. But some people could have taken it too far, and it's kind of like and they could have grown up with families like that, that are more maybe inspired more by ego and image and look how wonderful our life is. And it is all this living a life of more superficiality and shallow. And it's like, are you in there? Is anybody real in there? And it's like, no, look how happy we are. And it's like, I don't think I ever saw it, but kind of reminds me of the book and the movie, something like about the Stepford Wives. But, everybody playing this role. And that's what our life can be. Are we just playing a role in the world because we've conformed so much to the world that it's taken over our life, that we're no longer living our authentic life, embracing who we are, letting ourselves be these creative, we're emotionally complex human beings. Some people are like, no. I mean, it is confusing. We are emotionally complex. And some people are like, it's too confusing. I don't know how to work with those things. I'm going to wear a mask and I'm going to put on a show for the world, but I'm not really going to do that because then I do have to connect in with my emotions, my intuition, and I just find them confusing. So it's kind of like some people just live this fake life. And, I want the things other people have. I want to look victorious and successful. And like I have these happy, loving people in my life and relationships. I want to look like I got it going on. But sometimes some people get in relationships with people like those people. And it's just like, are you ever going to let yourself out to play in the world? It's like, everybody knows that people have a more loving, intuitive, creative, authentic, warm, hopeful, believing nature. But some people, they never let it out. And so some people, it's like, I can't be in a relationship with someone who I don't want to be in a relationship with your fake persona. If that's, why would any of us do what we do at any given moment in time? Probably because we think it's just and fair based on how we view life. And it probably helps us maintain balance within ourselves to feel stable and grounded. Wouldn't we all be more bold and brave and confident and authentic and creative and inspired and pursuing our dreams more ferociously if that's where we were at in our life? And it helped, and we could feel balanced doing our life like that. But life is about learning these lessons and becoming who you are meant to be. And high vibe energy is about being more independent, knowing your worth and value, being willing to get out of your ego and defensive nature to learn these lessons in life. Get out of your more defensive nature, seeing that if you live in your more defensive, fearful, immature, prideful, egotistical, kind of indulging your more immature nature, you're not going to grow to your full potential. It's going to keep tempting you to be in your more, whatever it is that tempts you to align with your more worldly, immature nature. And that can be just our fears and our insecurities and our self-limiting beliefs. And some high vibe people are like, I want to be free of those things, because high vibe energy is freeing yourself from the things that manipulate you. And truth and love is what helps us do that. And that's a truth that some people haven't learned yet. You know, in our more worldly, egoic nature, we could think, I can live life this way. I'm sure this will make me happy. It's like, well, are you being truthful? Are you balanced within yourself? Have you learned to love yourself? Have you learned to have you freed yourself from the past? Have you offered love and compassion and forgiveness to it so you can move forward? Because if not, you're deceiving yourself. If you haven't really worked through all those things, and it takes time. Sometimes we don't even know the things we need to work through. And we get in relationships, you know, with other people, and it's kind of like if you're to look at life as a video game, and each level has its challenges and obstacles to overcome. At any phase of our life, we have fears and insecurities and self-learning beliefs and things that come up. Our worldly nature is like an onion, of a never-ending onion of layers and layers and layers to peel back. And when we come into contact with these different people in the world, you know, some of those things can kind of be triggered. And are we willing to work through those things to figure out, why did that kind of get me in my ego? Or what made me jealous, or what made me envious, or what made me defensive? What kind of lack mentality did it pull up within me? Were the people am I willing to see the truth that some people in my life don't have my best interests at heart? Because we have this dualistic nature, we have different people in our life who kind of represent the high vibe energy. Some people represent our more worldly, immature nature. Both types of people might want us to be in relationship with them, but why? The high vibe people want us to grow to our full potential and love and believe in ourselves, and we could reject them because maybe there's these things in the world we want to go indulge in that we think will make us happy, or maybe we haven't learned to love ourselves. Maybe we're repeating a pattern of trying to get other people to love and believe in themselves. And that can be us and our ego trying to have a victory. Look, I made someone who was not on the same page as me get on the same page as me. Well, how often has that worked with the deceit card? You know, it's one thing to offer people love and encouragement and friendship, to be a friend with them and see them grow and mature and heal themselves. It's another thing to get in like a romantic relationship with someone, and you know they have these certain traits and characteristics and ways of being and things they love, and that was the truth of them when you got in the relationship with them, but you thought, oh, I can change them. Oh, well, you know, everybody is where they're at based on their life experiences, and they had the free will choice to be a more, like, a less immature person, a less bossy person, a less egotistical person, a lot, whatever, you know, and they didn't. And for us to think that we can change someone's philosophy of life might be us being in our ego. Why aren't we just going and getting in relationships with people who are on the same page as us? Again, it's one thing to be a friend to someone and you're offering them love and encouragement for them to go through this process within themselves to free willingly choose to be a more hopeful, believing, balanced, loving person within themselves, and to do that work within themselves, versus getting in a relationship with someone who's already shown us that that's not how I live my life. It can be kind of that egoic nature. Boy, this time I'm going to win. This time, because I might have known people who were like that before, and maybe they were my friend, maybe they were my family member, Maybe they were my parent or my sibling or other people I've dated who had those traits and qualities or characteristics, and they didn't work together with me this way. Boy, this time they're going to choose me, and that's us and our ego. Some people are in those type of relationships dynamics right now. Some of you were in that type of relationship dynamic. The whole thing is, it's exhausting, right? And it's like, I want to be in relationships with people who, and eventually we have to get out of repeating that pattern, and we have to learn that I need to be inspired to love myself so I don't reject the loving people in my life and instead where I'm trying to convince the people who aren't on the same page as me to love me. Why do the uphill battle? Why not walk with the people that are already walking in the direction that you're going? Instead of trying to drag people with you. It's like, no, come this way. Let's quit deceiving ourselves. I don't need certain people to love me when I love myself. I love myself. I know my worth and value. I know what I bring to the table in a relationship. If people don't want to move forward with me in this type of energy, then apparently that's not their free will choice. And I'm going to quit trying to force them to live life the way I want it. And sometimes vice versa. People who are living their life a certain way want you to keep living your life that way. It's like, that's not what I'm driven and motivated by. That's not how I enjoy spending my time in whatever regard it is. I want to move forward like this. And just like we wouldn't like it if someone's trying to constantly change us to live our life differently, we shouldn't be trying to force other people. Everybody has free will to live their life the way they want. And I think eventually some high vibe people in those situations, if they saw that people had no interest in living their life in a more just and fair or balanced or loving way, they wished them peace to go find the people in the world who did. And they had to love and believe in themselves enough to keep maintaining balance within themselves, to stand in their truth and take action in their truth. And that can take time. We're all ready to move forward and be more independent, when we're ready. And so some high vibe people are moving forward. Some people aren't moving forward with them because some people are happy living their life from their more worldly nature. And I think those people have some lessons to learn because I don't think it's going to turn out the way they wanted. And some people aren't communicating with you and taking action towards you because if they can't manipulate you or control you, or they don't think you would tip the scales in their favor to kind of indulge them in some way, then they don't want to be in a relationship with you. They might have other people that they figure they can be in a relationship with who are more motivated and inspired to live life the way they live life, or that they can kind of manipulate and control. And if they think that will make them happy to live their life that way, that's how they're living their life. And I think as high vibe people are moving forward in their life, they're speaking their truth to people in their life. This is how I'm moving forward. Who wants to come with me? If you do want to come with me, you have to do this work within yourself to work through what manipulates you, that stops you from working together cooperatively in a just and fair and loving way. Because if that's not how you operate, I've also now maybe learned to listen to my intuition more than living more from my mind and my ego. And, I might be attracted to you. I might have love for you. I might want to be in a relationship with you. But I've already been there and done that. Now I've learned that if my intuition tells me this person isn't on the same page, I'm going to listen to my intuition to guide me. And I'm not going to make a decision more out of pride or ego or lust or greed or whatever, And as you're moving forward in life, because of this world of duality, it's like constantly trying to figure out where are you at, Life is about learning lessons, and so the next lesson kind of has to appear for you to work through and peel off the next layer of your fear and your insecurity and your self-limiting beliefs to love and believe in yourself and grow to your full potential. And as you're moving forward, you're going to have these different type of people within yourself. You're going to have your shadowy nature trying to deceive you and get you to indulge your more worldly, immature nature, and your loving nature is going to try to encourage you to keep maintaining balance and take action in truth and love, because that's how you will kind of get you won't be repeating an old pattern. Because we either keep repeating an old pattern or we go on to like the next level of life. So your high vibe energy is trying to encourage you to do that. And then there's other people in the world that are loving, encouraging people that aren't trying to manipulate and control other people, that are offering love to the world just like you are, to encourage other people to love and believe in themselves. Be more independent. Quit letting these things within you manipulate you. Quit letting other people in your life manipulate you. Are they encouraging you to live to your full potential, to listen to your intuition, to heal and grow and become all you can be? Or do they want you to keep living life the way you've been living it and not do that, not listen to your intuition, which was a gift given to you? Don't look at life from a higher perspective. Don't believe there's a higher truth and justice to aspire to in this world. Make your life about these things. This is what I make my life about. We'll be happy. Really? I'll be happy ignoring my intuition? I'll be happy indulging poor behavior in myself and others? I'll be happy being in an imbalanced relationship where I don't think people are being authentic or just or fair or acting with character and integrity? By worldly standards, it could look great if we kept living our life like that. But some people have lessons to learn in love. It's like, oh, but I love them. At what point, though, are we going to speak our truth that love is meant to be just and fair? And for those of you that are very loving people, it can be really hard. And some people use the love that you have for them to try to manipulate you. I want to go do this and act like this and indulge in this or whatever. I don't think that you're going to love and believe in yourself enough because I know you love me. I think I can manipulate you. And if what I want to go indulge in or act like maybe doesn't work out the way I want, I think I can come back and pop up in your life. And because you love me, I think I can manipulate you back into doing this relationship with me. Everybody can have different people pop up in their life. Who's telling the truth? Who's learned lessons in life? Who's grown and healed and matured themselves? Who is trying to use the love that people have for them or their want for justice or fairness? Who's going to try to use that to their advantage? I think some of the high vibe people have already spoken their truth to people. And if people aren't speaking their truth with them and moving forward with them in this way, they realize they're not the people that are on the same page as them. And you're going to move forward with whoever the people are in your life, in the world, in the workplace, in your family, that are willing to work together with you in this way. And as you do that, there's going to be other people who are going to want to be in a relationship with you because you are this just and fair and balanced and loving person. And with those people, you'll have to decide who's trying to get you to repeat some poor past pattern and who's inspired to let love and intuition guide them and go on an adventure. What's coming up for people who harness high vibe Cancer energy that they might not see coming? Okay, let's see. 1, 2, or 3 is good. Don't need a group of 8. Oh. Oops, had a big chunk flip in the middle of the deck. Okay, well, here's another card that's flipped in the deck. We have the 7 of Wands. So the Victory card is like the 6 of Wands, and then the 7 of Wands is standing up for the action that you did take when you were inspired to get out of your fear and your insecurity and your ego. Why? Emotionally, you're not the same person you were before. And you're not emotionally defending your more worldly nature. You've stood up against your more worldly nature to stand up for your more inspired, loving nature. And you've done, it's one thing to leave a situation. In the Victory card, I am inspired to speak my truth and take action on what I think is aligned with my truth. But then we have to work through this mental confusion because we can love people, but we're not hanging out with them or keeping our distance from them. And then it takes that time to be able to actually emotionally walk away. And that's like Scorpio death card. Scorpio is emotional water sign, and it talks about those deep emotional connections that we have with people. And that takes time. And you saw the truth. You offered love to work through all the mental confusion about it. And you also saw when you chose to distance yourself, you also saw how other people acted. They continued to have their free will to act whichever way they wanted, and some of them weren't doing this work within themselves to move forward with you in this way. And you see the truth of it. And you see they're not people you want to work with anymore. And the people that are putting in this work within themselves to move forward with you in this way are the people you're going to stand up and defend. And there's going to be other people that view you as a victory, that have a long-term goal of being in a friendship or romantic relationship, whatever the case is, who did this work within themselves and doing this work within themselves to stand up for themselves against what manipulates them and people in their life that manipulate them or the world. To see the truth, that it's about love. I don't want to live a fake life. I don't want to let my ego run my life. I don't want my fear and insecurity and codependent nature run my life. I could live my life and hang out with certain people or whatever where it looks really victorious by worldly standards, but it's like a lie. Or it's not aligned with my truth. Could have been aligned with my truth at one time, but as time has went by, just like any relationship and any phase of life, we look at it to see, is this my truth? High vibe people offer love to the people in their life to move forward with them in this way. And if some of those people aren't, it's this whole thing of like periodically in life, there's this sifting, this judgment going on. Who are the people that are on the same page as me? Who aren't the people who are on the same page as me? We've been friends, we've worked together, we've been in a relationship. Who's getting promoted? Who's not getting promoted? Who's getting fired? It constantly goes on in life. And the high vibe people have hope and faith and belief in their dreams and in love. And they sift out the people in their life who don't maybe really seem to be inspired by love. Might want to be in the relationship. It's good for their ego and their image. It looks victorious and successful. Great to be in relationships with loving, nurturing people. But are they that type of person? High vibe, victory, and 6 of Wands and 7 of Wands. High vibe Leo energy. I want people who are authentically themselves. People who have done this work to free themselves from the things that manipulate them so they can freely give and receive love, and they're warm and they're loving and they're encouraging. They want to grow to their full potential. They want me to grow to my full potential. And we're going to encourage each other to grow to our full potential. And other people are like, no, 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 don't do that. I want it to be more about this. Let's make it more about the world, or let's make it more about me. You know? And other people are like, no. And they're moving forward and standing up for what they believe in. And they're detaching from the people in their life that aren't moving forward with them at this point in time, speaking their truth. Okay, well then you're not someone who's on the same page as me. Apparently, we're not going to work together. I see the truth of it. And I'm going to keep maintaining my balance, being inspired by my dreams to keep on this journey. I know the divine has a plan for my life, and the next lesson has to appear. So I'm going to keep waiting to see what God's got planned for me, instead of being deceived into repeating an old pattern. What's coming up for the people who might harness a more worldly, shadowy Cancer energy that they don't see coming up? It has to do with this card. And why? Because of the Six of Cups. I think the people, like I say, the Six of Cups can talk about repeating a pattern of the past, which is also Scorpio energy. We all repeat a pattern and a way of viewing life, a way of living life. We repeat that pattern until we're kind of inspired to love and believe in ourselves, to go to like the next phase of life, to expand our perception of ourselves and the world around us, and, you know, just ready to face our fears, to put ourselves out there more in a way. And then in Scorpio energy, we're willing to emotionally detach from some old ways of viewing life and old ways of living life, old ways of feeling about ourselves, because we've been inspired to love and believe in ourselves. And there's lots of different things that can inspire us. Books, movies, music, watching other people in the world, you know, the loving people in our life who love and encourage us to become all we can be. Some people are going to repeat an old pattern of the past. They thought they were going to go maybe on some new adventure, but they haven't changed. They haven't seen the truth. So while they're repeating an old pattern of the past that they didn't expect, other people have reconciled themselves with the past, and those people really are moving on. And for some of these people who thought maybe they could manipulate people, be bossy or controlling of people, you know, shadowy King of Swords in a relationship can be people who are like, well, I say this is just and fair, so you should think this is just and fair. And some people are like, no, I adhere to a higher truth and justice, and you can think you're just and fair with someone else, because I don't think you're being just and fair. Or the way you want to live your life, that's how you view life. You think that's just and fair to live your life that way? That's great. You go live your life, but my intuition is telling me there's more to life. And I maybe do look at life from a higher perspective. And I don't think we're here with no purpose. I think the divine, since caveman days, has been trying to manifest people growing and maturing to their full potential. And I'm one of the people who wants to be someone who steps outside of societal norms to help bring needed change, because that's how we go to the next phase of life. If everybody keeps repeating an old pattern, how are we going to go to the next phase of life? But some people think, no, 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 you should make your life about this. I'm sure you'll do your life about this. And what they didn't see coming is that some people would reconcile themselves with the situation. And if they dealt with people who are, you know, it's kind of like shadowy energy trying to stop us from listening to love and intuition. Keep doing the same old thing. And then we have people in our life who are kind of deceitful or manipulative or bossy or controlling, and they think we're going to keep doing the same old thing. But instead, you offered love to the situation, you listened to your intuition, and you detach from some people. You realize that some people were trying to get you to either repeat a past pattern of a way of living life that you've already been there and done that, and I don't have an interest in going back to that type of relationship dynamic, or you see that they were repeating some poor past patterns of the past, or maybe you harness your Scorpio energy differently, which anybody in their Scorpio nature harness it like any other aspect. High vibe or more low vibe. Some people are happy living their life and they feel comfortable being more emotionally shallow and superficial. And some of those people don't want to be a leader in the world. They don't want to step outside of societal norms. It helps them maintain their balance, repeating this old pattern. And that's fine. They can live their life whatever way they want. But some high vibe people realize, I don't want to repeat that pattern. And they reconciled themselves to it. They've come to peace about it. And they're moving on. And some of those people didn't think that they would. Thought they would keep being manipulated like they're manipulated. And you've cut this energy out of your life and they didn't see that coming. You're not aligning with this energy in a shadowy way anymore. And they don't understand how you're doing that. And it's because you're harnessing it in a high vibe way right now. They just don't get it. Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands, Six of Wands, Queen of Wands, Leo energy. They operate more from their worldly egoic nature, so they keep repeating this pattern because they have a lesson to learn. And you are not operating from your worldly egoic nature anymore. You saw through the illusion. You saw the truth. If I keep making decisions out of my pride and my ego and my fear and my insecurity and my codependency, I'm going to have to keep learning these hard lessons where things don't work out the way I want. If I want to have the things that I want and get the justice I deserve, I have to do this work within myself to love and believe in myself, act with character and integrity, maintain balance within myself, and choose to harness high vibe Leo energy, which is choosing to be in life-giving energy. Every day I'm going to offer myself love and encouragement and compassion. I'm going to give myself the things that I wish everyone else would have given me. And I'm going to offer love and compassion, forgiveness to everybody for where they're at in their life. But I'm no longer going to live in illusion. I'm dealing with the truth. If you haven't learned some of the lessons I've learned about how to get to be just and fair in a relationship, then you're not someone I'm going to get in a relationship with. I'm not going to be manipulated by my prideful, egotistical, lustful, greedy, impulsive, whatever nature anymore. And another thing these people might... So you're standing up for yourself and you've emotionally detached and you've moved on and you have a victory worth defending. That is victorious because you're not repeating an old pattern. You have transformed, high vibe Scorpio of the death card is, you've transformed your whole life. You're not the person that you were before. They are the same person they were before. They haven't been illuminated to the truth. They're still being tempted by their more worldly nature or defensive nature or materialistic or something nature. And they're going to repeat an old pattern. There might be someone who wants to get in a relationship with them. And it might be someone who's hiding. They might be presenting that I want to have a balanced, loving, deep, meaningful relationship with you. And some of them are like, perfect, that's the kind of people I like to be in a relationship with you. You be that way, I'll be my way, and it'll be great. But what they don't know is that the person who's coming to get in a relationship with them is really maybe just like them. Or manipulating them for their own reasons. They're not who they say they are. I think if they do get in a relationship with another loving person, the same thing's probably going to play out again. And that could be where they don't realize, oh shit, damn, how do I get in a relationship with these people who listen to their intuition? Damn. Why do those people love and believe in themselves? Why do those people not be willing to stay in a relationship with me when it looks like we have all these things of the world? I don't know. Are you kind of emotionally cold and detached? Are you a little emotionally shallow and superficial? Do people feel like you're putting on a show, that you're not really being authentic, that you're trying to manipulate and control them? Well, some of the people who've learned to listen to their intuition and want deep, meaningful relationships are going to get out of a relationship with you. If they get in a relationship with someone who's like themselves, yeah, somebody could be coming in, because life's about learning lessons. These people have some lessons to learn. The devil's going to come into their life to try to get them to see you went down the wrong path. And they might get in a relationship that by worldly standards looks great, and the whole thing is trying to get them to see, because they might get in a relationship where, again, someone is repeating some pattern of the past, which could be what made these people live their life like this anyway. And it's trying to get them to see the truth of it. When did you give up on hope and faith and belief and love? Did you grow up with people who were superficial and all about the ego and image? Well, guess who's coming into your life? Someone who you thought would be your dream come true. But there's maybe... We don't have... Well, except for over here. No, yeah. The high vibe people are harnessing high vibe fire energy. They're motivated, inspired, passionate, creative. These other people might be in a relationship in shadowy fire energy, where again, it's more motivated to make life about these things of the world, or defending themselves from love, or defending their more immature nature. And it's kind of like someone who doesn't have that spark of creativity and imagination and that passionate, creative, inspired nature. And, you know, some of these people thought, oh, I'll just go find another loving person. I'll just go find another person to get in a relationship. Well, all people aren't the same. Some people, that would be shadowy Scorpio energy. Oh, life's just about death, sex, taxes. I'll go get in a relationship with someone else. Be in a relationship with them. It doesn't really matter who. So long as I'm in a relationship, so long as I look victorious and successful, so long as I look like the winner, so long as I have a certain status and image. And then it's like, well, now you're going out with someone who might look shiny on the surface, but there's nothing within. Maybe they were creating an illusion. Maybe they, strategize how to create to look like they're these certain types of people. But, people either have life force, creative, inspired nature that they're aligned with, or they're aligned with the world energy would be considered more like dead energy. Like a rock, a human being that has no spark of life in them. Because it's those gifts that we tap into, that we use from love, that makes it all worthwhile. And some of these other people are not using their gifts from love. They use them manipulatively. And being in a relationship with people who are using their emotions manipulatively, their sexuality manipulatively, their way that they try to motivate and inspire people in a relationship manipulatively. Really? Is that what we want? Some people might get in a relationship with someone who they end up realizing reminds them of someone from their past or their childhood. That could have been someone that made them make their life more about these things. And, God's trying to get people to see the truth. When did you give up on your dreams? When did you decide to live more from your mind than your heart? When did you get in your more defensive nature? When are you going to stand up for yourself against these things that manipulate you? And if people aren't willing to see the truth, which we've all got we've all been there and we've all done this to a degree. They're going to repeat a past pattern, and it's trying to get them to see the truth. Don't hold your breath for some of those people, because we all know it can take years to learn certain lessons in life. You know, when did you learn to quit having a harsh, critical inner voice? When did you learn to quit this and this and this and this? And if you met some people that have a lot of life lessons learned, it could take them the rest of their life and they still might not learn all those lessons. And some people don't want to, is the truth. Some people reject being authentically themselves. They feel more comfortable and they don't want to be a leader in the world. They want to conform to the world. They don't care if they're repeating some old pattern, so long as maybe that's what makes them feel stable and grounded. Being more authentically themselves, more bold and brave and creative, would really throw them out of balance. So we just need to see the truth of that too. So there you go, Cancer energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.